Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, I'm sure you guys have probably heard about a few crazy things in AI that have been happening in the overall ecosystem of the planet. Things like ChatGPT basically able to go and give you an entire grocery list, or be able to go and code certain things, making mock-up tweets, scripts, movies, or whatever it might be, basically taking the steps of, well, a lot of normal creative humans. But as well, we've also been seeing gaming trying to go implement AI into their systems with somewhat shoddy results. Think Xbox, them trying to use AI to basically automatically ban people or deal with customer service, which if you guys have ever dealt with having to call a bank or anything like that on there with a weird like, hey, we'll wait for the dial tone, you have to press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the last 20 seconds. It's not the usual best experience when you have to deal with AI or automated systems. But right now we're seeing something even worse when it comes to PlayStation. Now, I'm sure most of you guys have played a video game before in your lives if you guys have been subscribed to my channel, but right now Sony has now patented one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen, where at this point, AI is going to go play the game for you. Now, you guys heard that correctly. You are quite literally not even in existence in Sony's mind when it comes to this upcoming patent. So I'm going to go talk about this because, number one, people are very upset about this and concerned about this and kind of thinking this is probably one of the dumbest things we've ever seen. And as well, I myself think it's really stupid to have games go and autoplay for you. That's been a somewhat common thing for games like Raid, Shadow Legends, or other various games where you don't even play the game, you just watch a game being played. And now that is slightly different than, let's say, a story game on easy, where it's a little bit more of a laid-back, chill experience, versus this. So let's go talk about this drama because I think Sony and PlayStation have lost their minds. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like if you guys did, and give your thoughts and comments down below so we can go through it and follow the Twitter and Twitch. Let's go dive into the video itself. So, as you guys maybe got from the intro of this video, Sony right now has patented an autoplay game mode for your game and game consoles, and people are like, what is going on here? Where Sony patents a new technology that could enable an autoplay mode in PlayStation games, potentially allowing players to skip some gameplay segments. Now, might be small baby smidgens. I can maybe see some merits. Like, I always feel like as a video, I should highlight the good and the bad, but I feel like this is mostly leading towards leading gamers to just looking at shiny colors and seeing progress without feeling it. One thing I used to love and also hate at the same time, old school games like Pokemon. Or even if you want to use more of a newer age example like Elden Ring or Dark Souls games, you're weak, your character's weak, so what do? You grind up, you level up to make the game at least a little baby schmidgen bit easier. Elden Ring's a good example of that one. You want to go and farm some mods, and you can go and upgrade your character at least a little bit, better weapons, or at least give you a little baby bit more HP, a little baby bit more stamina, and guess what? I mean, 10, 15, 20 levels sometimes does add a lot to your character, or a good thing for Pokemon. Let's say your characters are at level like 50, and you're at the Elite 4. At that point, you have to be like everyone else is like 53, 56. So you lose the first 2 times, you realize you can't just brute force it, you go back and you grind. And I feel like this is kind of where they're trying to go in segment to have some of that AI stop that in general. So right now, here's the high levels of it. I'm going to give you thoughts and also show some community responses where Sony's new patent for an AI-powered system could revolutionize gaming. I don't know about that word. By allowing players to skip repetitive or grinding gameplay sections. Now, once again, I can see the merit sometimes. Maybe you get older, maybe you think the game itself is poorly designed, or maybe you just don't want to. Maybe you have 5 other games you want to play, and you can maybe let it sit and let it run as you're cooking dinner, talking to your family, wife, kids, or like at the end of the day, maybe scrolling through Twitter, Facebook, doing emails, whatever it might be. There is like some merits I can see. They said the autoplay mode technology uses an AI model to simulate gameplay styles and could be implemented in Sony's PlayStation games. While potentially controversial, I think it leads more towards controversial, but I can understand it. The system could benefit players who struggle with lengthy games and grinding, enhancing the overall gaming experience. Once again, I feel like that's almost like a genre, though. Some people like those quick, to-the-point games, almost like a Spider-Man, I would say, is that's more streamlined single-player experience. And then some games, maybe like God of War, can be streamlined or can have a lot of side quests to enjoy the world and world building. Or games like Pokemon, where the grind is part of the game. Like, if you were to go play Pokemon and you quite literally have all of your characters at level 99 in the first 5 minutes, then guess what? The game is just you pressing A and then moving, A and then moving, A and then moving, A and then moving, until you beat the game and there's no challenge. There's no fun of it. Or a game like Final Fantasy, etc. Like sometimes like the grind is nice, but you almost want to pace out the grind yourself so you can kind of like, like kind of edge yourself when it comes to the gameplay in general, like in how you have your experience. So Sony has recently filed a patent for the new AI-powered systems that can be used for auto-playing parts of games. Like all major tech companies, Sony files numerous patents each year, but this one stands out due to its potential to drastically change how gamers play. Sony is one of the leading forces in the gaming market, as the company is rumored to be gearing up for PS5 Pro's launch for later on this year. You guys probably heard my channel. It's also devising new technologies that could greatly change how gaming works. So Sony has filed a patent that can be implemented to create an AI-powered system that would enable gamers to skip gameplay segments by employing an autoplay mode. So according to the patent, the auto gaming mode would use an AI model to learn how to simulate gameplay styles by taking information from cloud-based services such as the PlayStation Network. And then basically, it kind of seems like they're basically like getting a lot of different people's play style or your own play style. And then they kind of min-max and kind of just use AI to get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and then basically be like, this is what a normal person would do on average, or this is what the average collective sum of like 1,000 people playing the game would do, and we can kind of let your character go and cook by itself. So the patent comes with a few ideas for the implementation of this new tech, such as emulating the specific gameplay style of a gamer after learning from a few sections of repetitive gameplay. For example, another idea is related to anticipated grinding content, or the AGC, giving the player the chance to turn on this option before these moments of perceived repetitive gameplay start. When playing, gamers would have the option to resume the autoplay mode at any instance or receive a notification after a certain grindy section has been completed. Now, this is like, I could see some merit. Like, I don't want to completely say no, because, like, let's say you are playing a game. Let's keep on using the Pokemon. If you guys haven't played Pokemon, the most recent Sword and Shield game. Sometimes there's general areas and you just want to maybe level up your characters a little bit. Like, I could see it being used. I, as a streamer, can maybe see it being used too as well. Let's say I'm playing a game and I'm a little bit behind. I'm too busy talking to chat, or I just want to have like a 30-minute mental break. I still want to be playing the game or observing the game, but I don't want to spend the hour. Like, I could understand. Like, maybe you're slightly older. You don't have the time to do a 100-hour game. So you want to go and just have some of the spare time to grind it, make it a little bit easier. Like, I do understand it and I get the idea behind it. Or once again, for Pokemon, maybe like you've been playing for a while and you're like, hey, I just want to beat the game. Beat the Elite Four. I'm at 51. I'm going to grind up to 53 for a little bit. I'm going to do it either way so the end result doesn't really change the gameplay element. I can maybe understand it, but I think it takes away the joy. Like, that's just my take. I think it takes away like part of the game design. But not every game is designed properly or well enough for that could sometimes become a slog. Like, there's been a lot of people complaining over time that certain games can be like that. Or maybe even Final Fantasy, MMOs, good examples too as well. Or maybe just want to get to end-game content. And some people will pay money to get their game to like to beat an expansion or skip an expansion or make a game a little bit easier. So, I mean, people are out there who prefer that. Or maybe someone's really rich and they just want to enjoy beating the final boss, getting to late game, or like having, say, for Elden Ring when the game came out and everyone just want to get more to like, experience the game more, because it is a lot of game to experience. So I can see little bits and pieces of why, and it does already happen in games like Raid Shadow Legends, where there's quite literally an auto battle, and then you just kind of watch the battle. You make the team and focus more on team building. Or even think games like sports games, where they do have like, automated systems. You can kind of skip through games depending on the game you're playing. Like, you make the team, and then they kind of automatically play, and you get to see the results, and maybe you play the more important games. Like, some of these systems are there. I don't usually partake in them, so that's just my opinion. But I can see at least some baby merits. That's why I want to make this video, because it was a bit controversial. So basically, it's like, hey, you play the game for a few prior sessions, and then you're usually dodging this, and you can 100% completion rate, killing level 15. And then at that point, you're level 17, you're going to get it no matter what, because the game already knows you can beat it no matter what. So like, it makes sense. It makes sense on how they could maybe go and justify it on up. And it seems like it'd be like you kind of like cruise control. It's a good example. Basically, you pop in cruise control and you're like, hey, I'm chilling for a half hour. Never mind, I might want to do some merging through traffic. I might have to pay attention. There might be the water, rain, whatever it might be. I mean, it kind of makes sense. So Sony's technology would use an AI-powered model to learn how to play games using information from the cloud-based services. This trained model would be used to offer an autoplay mode in these games, and this way PlayStation gamers would not need to play grindy or repetitive sections of games. So I still think I would not use this, but I want to hear your thoughts down below. While this is certainly a controversial idea that will not be seen in a positive light by many gamers, it could also be handy. Players who often engage in games that are too long and full of grinding could potentially use this system to skip these sections, pulling on the parts that entertain them, and the pen indicates that the system could also be used in third-party games, as it's citing employing data from cloud systems as well that the AI is using. So no one knows exactly how or where this could be fully implemented right now. It would maybe be utilizing the PS5 Pro with the PSSR, which is AI technology, which would make sense. But at the end of the day, this is intriguing to go and see how this comes out. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below when it comes to all the AI examples, and let me know if you guys would use it too as well.